Well, that was easy, y'all. Hey, sweet friends, welcome back to another video, and this week is special because it's a Sheet PAN-PALOOZA collab hosted by myself, and I have so many wonderful, lovely creators also joining in, so you make sure you check out my description box below so you can get all kinds of easy peasy sheet pan meals that are sure to please everyone, even the pickiest of eaters. So make sure you go show them some love. There will be a playlist in my description box, but without further ado, let's get right on in to cooking some sheet pan meals, y'all. Come on, let's go. All right, y'all, so starting out, we're gonna do some barbecue chicken thighs with some green beans and of course some sweet potatoes. So I just have my bags of the frozen green beans. This is what we prefer. Now to season the chicken, I'm just gonna use some black garlic, orange pepper, Cavenders, and then of course my favorite sauce, barbecue, is the roasted garlic of the Cavenders. And then I always do my sweet potatoes in the microwave for a little bit just to kind of tenderize or tender them up, however you want to say it, before putting them on the sheet pan. And that way they cook pretty decent, you know, together with everything else. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay out my chicken thighs here. I do have my sheet pan buttered just to keep those chicken thighs from sticking and add a little bit of moisture there. Also to help with the green beans and the sweet potatoes as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and season up my chicken right here and just season it very well. And then I'm going to add my green beans to it. We'll also season them too, because you got to season everything with whatever you want, but you just season it until you make your heart little heart happy. Let me put it that way, if I can speak correctly. I went ahead and drained the water out of those sweet taters right there. I'm just going to go ahead and season those up as well. And I do put some tinfoil on those because they will have sugar in them, the natural sugar, and it's just easier to keep them from getting a nasty sticky mess. That's also why I put the butter on that pan, because you see me pouring that barbecue sauce on over that. Once I put the barbecue sauce, I just put everything back in the oven to cook a little bit more. But here is everything, and I'm just going to go ahead and plate it on up. We're going to sit down and have supper. All right, y'all, let's get in there and make some yummy, yummy homemade pizza. This is everything that I use to make my sheet pan pizza. I just use the thin and crispy mix from Great Value. It works just as good, but if you have a homemade crust or anything that you want to make, by all means, go ahead and make it that way. Whatever makes you happy and whatever your family likes, that's how you need to make it. But I've just got the basic toppings here, some pepperoni, some ham, bacon, mozzarella cheese, mushrooms, olives, whatever you want. That's what you need to make your pizza. So I went ahead and mixed this crust together. We're going to let it sit until it doubles in size. Then right here, I'm just spreading that on out on a greased sheet pan just to where it covers the whole bottom. Or if you need to make two, do that too. It's whatever y'all need to do to feed your family. I do par bake my crust though, because you don't want that doughy when you go to put the pizza sauce on it and everything. So I always try to par bake it. That way it's nice and crispy on the bottom. And then I start out with the sauce right there, a little or as much as you want. We're saucy people, so I load it up. I'll put my cheese down, and then I do the pepperonis, the mushrooms, and then I chop up the ham in little bitty pieces. Same for the mushrooms and the bacon bits. And then I just chopped up that whole block of mozzarella and then just kind of sprinkled that on top as well. You see that I only put olives on just a couple slices down there at the bottom because not everybody likes them. And then I sprinkled the whole pizza with Italian seasoning, and just that quick, here it is, hot and fresh and out of the oven. This has got to be one of the quickest but the most delicious sheet pans ideas that I've had the whole time. Also, if you're coming over from any of the lovely creators channels, hello and welcome, and I really hope you decide to become part of my YouTube family. I would absolutely love to have y'all. And here is another good one for you. We're just going to make some good old cheeseburger sliders. This is the easiest way to make sliders, in my opinion. I've also saw Tamara over at Southern Wife, Everyday Life. She has also done her sliders the exact same way on a sheet pan. It makes perfect sense to do that. Saves you a lot of time. So in my burger, I just used the beefy onion soup mix and some Worcestershire sauce. And I just mix that together. It's simple, quick, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, in my opinion. And that's what I want after a long day at work. So I'm just going to go ahead and mix up this burger. I've got the Lipton onion soup mix, the Worcestershire, and those seasonings right there, which is Badia Complete and Nature Seasoning. And I'm just going to go ahead and patty that meat on out. That way it fills up that whole sheet pan, because it will shrink down. But I didn't want them to be too thick. To go on top of my cheeseburgers, I'm just going to go ahead and caramelize up some onions right there. I just do it in a little bit of butter in my skillet right here. And then I will put just a tad bit of water in the bottom, and I'll put that lid on it until they get nice and caramelized right here. And then once I pulled those burger patties out of the oven, I'm going to go ahead and cover everything in onions. If you don't like onions, just leave them off, or feel free to put whatever you want on there. Bacon would be really good as well. Any kind of cheese you want, anything that you would like for your family, put it on there. So we're just doing onions, and I'm just going to go ahead and cover it up with some deli sliced cheese right here. Put it back in the oven while I was getting everything else ready to where that cheese is nice and melty. And we're going to go ahead and put these together. I just used a pizza cutter to slice those sliders in half right there to where we can go ahead and put them together. Now, once you have them together, I mixed up a little bit of butter, some Worcestershire, and some garlic powder, and that's what I brushed the top of the buns with. And then I'm going to put them back in there to where they kind of crisp up just a little bit, and they get nice and warmed up through. And then I just made some fries to go with it. Now, to finish this collab off, my last sheet pan is going to be a breakfast pizza. I mean, you can't go wrong with breakfast for breakfast, lunch, or supper, in my opinion. So, I've just got some crescent rolls, some chives, some eggs, bacon, some gravy mix, and we're just going to go ahead and put this on in together. Now, I'm using the sausage links, but if you have just like the ground sausage or the sausage patties, you know, you can use that as well. But this is just what I had on hand. So I just made that gravy according to the package directions, but I did leave out some of the water because I needed it a little bit thicker. So that's what only thing different I did. So those frozen sausage links, I just went ahead and put them in some water and kind of let those steam, and then mashed them on up. Got those browned, and then we're going to go ahead and scramble these eggs up real fast, and we're just going to take that sausage on out of this pan. That way we can use that same pan, but we still get that flavor from that sausage. I did add a little bit of butter because it didn't have too much of that grease in there, and I didn't want my eggs to stick. So we're just scrambling those on up. Put these crescent rolls in here. We did par bake them just a little bit, and once I pulled them out, that's when we layer on that gravy right there. And this gravy was so good, y'all. I highly recommend that brand. And then I just start by putting my eggs on there, and then my crumbled up sausage, my bacon bits, and the cheese right there. And now I'm going to top it with chives, put it back in the oven, and let this get all good, brown, bubbly, and melty. And then we're going to serve it on up, and we're going to have supper. This was so good. We absolutely loved it, and we'll definitely be making it again. Alright, y'all, that is it for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment below, and think about subscribing and becoming part of my YouTube family. I would absolutely love to have you. Also, please go and check out that description box and watch that playlist and give all these other lovely creators that have joined in some love. Until next time, my friends, God bless y'all. Bye.